Let's start with goalkeeper of the year.
This is like through the midway point, right? This isn't a
Yes, up
prediction
just
for the
up
end
to
of the
now.
year.
If you had to give it right now, who are you giving it to?
Carlos Cornell.
Yes, sir. Hell yeah.
He's been great this
He
season.
has been, hasn't he?
He has. I mean, he's your number one leader in PSXG plus
I mean,
minus.
that's
I
all
mean,
you need. This should be
that's
the
the only stat I
PSXG plus
need.
minus stat.
Yeah.
100%. I don't disagree with you. Now,
One CD.
I was not allowed to pick this because I would not hear the Red Bull, the anti Red Bull bias, whatever. I wasn't going to hear it. So I went with our boy Dwayne. Dane Sinclair leading the league in clean sheets right now, seventh in PSXG plus minus. I think it's a good enough resume for him to be there. And the reason I didn't pick Cornell, and this is genuinely why, standings. His performances have not led to his team being better than they are. Let me rephrase that.
How much do they factor that in for like goalkeeper of the year though?
Let me phrase that. Let me rephrase that. His performances have absolutely kept us in games and won us points and such. But if we finish in the play-in game, he's not winning goalkeeper of the year. I don't. I would feel bad about that, even though he was. Put it this way: Matt Freese, who should have been at the very least in the conversation last year, finishing fifth, didn't even get a nod. I don't
Yeah.
think you can look at and right or wrong, right? I think we both agree that was terribly wrong. I think Carlos Cornell has been a top three goalkeeper this year, no doubt, no doubt. But I don't see him winning it because of where Red Bull are in the standings. We're not performing well, and nobody's looking at it saying this goalkeeper performed so well that his team finished in seventh. Right? As much as I'd love it to be, because he's been really good. I'm not going to say he's been exceptional because he has his moments where he's not been very good. New York City is the big example, right? He saves us in game after game after game, and then when he's trying to play out of the back, he misses the ball and they score a tap in, right? Again, very very small sample size, but I don't think that would keep him out or put. I don't think that would help him in the goalkeeper of the year conversation. Moving on then to defensive player of the year. Thank you for the Red Bull shot, by the way. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. That's your last one.
Yeah, I think it's my last one too, to be honest with you. So I'll find a way to slide one in there. Defensive player of the year. Tell me why it's Omar Valencia. There you
Yeah,
go.
you wish. Because he helps my fantasy team, Omar Valencia.
Yeah, Omar and Alex Freeman. Go, 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 go.
I'm gonna go for another fantasy merchant. Kai Wagner. I think Kai Wagner has been unbelievably good this year. I mean, especially, listen, I know they're gonna not necessarily rate the attacking part of the Defensive Player of the Year award, but he has been unbelievably good on the attack this year. I think he's got 1 goal and 7 assists already. And honestly, his defensive numbers looked pretty good too. I mean, he was rated pretty high percentile in a few defensive metrics. His team's in first place across I mean, I know this is because of the attacking actions, but across the board, he's the highest rated defensive player across like multiple sites. He's almost one of the highest rated players, period. Like I think he's had an exceptional year from everything that it's looked like. What I will say as an honorable mention, if I wasn't going to go for a fullback, and I hated myself for saying this because I don't even know if it would be true or not, but I feel like Tristan Blackman would be in this conversation, considering how good Vancouver's been and he's been playing like almost every minute for them. I think he'd be in the conversation.
Put her there, big guy.
Oh no, did you pick
Tristan
him?
Blackman, defensive player of the year. Yes, sir. Vancouver, on their way to the top of the supporter shield standings, has been led by the stalwart defensive capabilities of Tristan Blackman. Only 12 goals against this season, combining the fact that he has played very well in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, leading them to the final game, and perhaps when you're listening to this, championship. He has been really, really good. Also knotted in 3 goals himself, which when it comes from a center back, it matters. For whatever reason, when it comes from an outside back, attacking contributions, useless. But when a center back does it, MLS is like, yep, yep, that's the guy. That's the guy. Which is bonkers to me, by the way, because if Kai Wagner repeats whatever his stats are and he ends the season with like 2 or 3 goals and like 15 assists, and he doesn't get put as defensive player of the year, that'd be so criminal.
That'd be
Um,
insane.
but again, you these are the sorts of players that you're looking towards the top of the table, good defensive standings, right? The 12 goals against that Vancouver have conceded, and I just want to get these numbers right for you just to be sure. I believe they're clear of any team close to them. New England's got 14. Okay, cool. And even Austin has more than that. We were talking about how good Austin has been defensively, right? Yeah, they're clear. Minnesota also has 14, right? Up Big Dwayne. But for the teams that I don't want to say teams that matter, that's kind of mean, but the teams that are up there in this conversation, 12 goals against, again, 24 goals conceded is good for seventh all time in MLS. And that number was from COVID. So that would be insane if they could get there, right? RSL had 20 in 2010. Houston had 23 in 2007. And I thought Philly also had a really good run of it at some point, maybe like a 26 goal, something like that. That would be on pace for a record setting year, and he would be a part of it. You could tell me Rezno Veselinovic, sorry. Um,
What
one of
did you
those
just
days.
say?
Veselinovic. Ranko, I forget his first name. You could tell me that he's a part of it too, but I think the goals that Tristan Blackman are scoring is going to be what sets him apart. Which again, insane. Let's move on then to the sideline. Talk about Coach of the Year. I think you and I might have the same one here.
Is it Sorensen from Vancouver?
It might be. Is that your pick?
It was my pick, but if you also had it, maybe we should give a little bit of love to Bradley Carnell over in Philly.
You can. I will never give love to a Red Bull deserter to an enemy
Wow.
team.
Wow.
You're
I
right.
went Sorensen.
Yep. Carnell, yeah, Carnell deserves credit too, right? I mean, what he's done with Philly, who didn't sign anybody, went in and took over a team, basically changed the entire system, and made it work to a point where they're leading the Eastern Conference halfway through. Yeah, he deserves some credit there, but I think Jesper Sorensen deserves more because they took a team that literally everybody expected to be in the wooden spoon, you included. Don't fact check that.
Uh, I don't think I
Uh,
said that.
don't fact check that. Not only did he lead them to the top of the Supporter Shield standings, but also to a Champions Cup final, and again, possibly a championship. This is a team that barely was winning Canadian championships a couple years ago, right? I don't think it's any question, regardless of whether he wins this weekend or this past weekend or not. I think, and again, as long as he holds this form, if my bold prediction comes true and he falls into sixth, it's a different story. But right now,
Hmm.
yeah, he's the best coach at the halfway point.
Well said.
Thanks, man. I practiced it. Newcomer of the year. What do you got?
Doubling down. Give me Sir Kevin Denke.
Yeah, I
Best
think
winter
this.
signing. I'm sticking down on best newcomer.
Yeah, I've got the same thing. I've given mine to Andres Dreyer with an honorable mention to Pasalic because, again, doing what he did for an expansion team in an area that is heavily soccer focused with what should have been a very good LA Galaxy team and what is a very good LAFC team to step in and to be what could be argued the best attacker in that group of three teams is very impressive. So double down there. Now, no pressure. David Goss Theorem Player of the Year. I hope you figure this one out. What do you got?
Are you saying I can't go Marcel Hartel again?
Oh man, I know you. I know how badly you want it, but if you picked the David Goss Player Theorem of the Year for a team that should be in the wooden spoon conversation, I would judge you a little hard for that.
Oh, you know what? I misunderstood how we were picking this.
Oh
I
my
thought we were picking
lord.
I thought we were picking a guy that's gonna like we would reassess at the end of the year. I didn't think
You
we're gonna pick a guy that's done well so far this season.
How have you messed
You
this up
should do
twice?
you should do
You
yours
you
first while
messed
I
it up
fix
in the
mine.
actual predictions, and you messed it up here. I can't wait to leave this in. I'll go first. The answer is Pep Biel. Dude had an okay half year in Charlotte last season. He gets brought back on loan again and is playing at a level that could be considered the MVP level for Charlotte. Right? We talked about this a little bit earlier in the episode, and that Charlotte team is really bang average. If you don't have Pep Biel in that team, that Charlotte team is awesome, is Atlanta, as we mentioned before. 11 goal contributions in 16 games, really solid. He's doing a lot of good work off the ball. I don't really know anybody else who comes close in this conversation right now, but I'd be happy to hear what you think.
Oh yeah, I also had Pep Biel on my
Oh, no
list.
way.
Yeah, I mean he's been a revelation for Charlotte over there.
Oh,
I mean a real game changer for them.
what a
You
great
know,
word.
he's keeping them in it while the defense is really letting them down. I mean, huge year for Pep Biel, Pep Bile, Pep Guardiola,
Pepe, Ricardo Pepe back in
Ricardo
action.
Pepe. That's my pick.
All right, give me your MVP pick because I'm tired of this.
I've gone for Ty Baribo.
I like it.
I
This
mean,
was, yeah.
clearing away top goal scorer, teams in first place in the East. Felt like pretty clear cut to me, in my opinion.
I stayed away from that because last year I picked Chicharrango and he fell off a cliff
Yeah,
and got shipped
that
off
didn't pan
to
out. You gave him the curse.
yeah, well, and that's the thing. If I'm going to curse somebody, it's got to be in the Eastern Conference so Red Bull can climb a table, right? I don't want to curse anybody out in the West. I don't give a damn. Who cares, right? So Evander, welcome to the podcast curse
Oh
list.
no, how could you do
Uh,
that? FCC,
FCC in
shield
the
your ears.
mud. The reason I picked him over some other players is he's come into a brand new team, right? Team that he's never played for before in a different conference, and he's picked up right where he left off in Portland. 11 goal contributions in 16 games, keeping FCC at the top of the Eastern Conference, right? Messi has also 11 goal contributions in 16 games and in less minutes, but his team hasn't had the results to warrant the MVP like he did last year, right? So when Messi was in this conversation last year, it was like, oh, he's only played 450 minutes, but he scored 11 goals. So, okay, the fact that he's done that and Miami are where they are, I think is really important. The fact that Miami has now fallen off in the games that he's played, I think he's lost him into like as he's played has lost like 3 or 4 games. So he's clearly not at the level anymore. He's washed, as the kids say. I'm just kidding. Don't cancel me. Um, but obviously, right, the impact is a little bit less because he's not helping that team out as much in terms of other players playing up to his level like he did with Robert Taylor last year, right? Show up and Robert Taylor turns into prime Iniesta, whatever. Hasn't done that this year.